Good day, everyone, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. I actually created this playlist because I've been having some tutorials with some of my folks, but I just thought about why not making it for the entire population. So, recently I moved to the United States almost a year now, and based on my personal experiences, I realized I actually have backgrounds in MEP and automation engineering. But the moment I came to the United States, so I realized most of the things we do in electrical engineering have actually moved to the tech industry. For instance, in the electrical engineering industry, they are using smart grids, and everything is all about IT tech, etc. So I realized I can't go deep like while I was in college. So I have to choose a part of tech industry I think it will be useful, and within a very short period of time I'll be able to make my way and get a job. So the tech industry is a very broad industry, but for me, while I was about to start my career, I classified them into five. So tech industry. So as at the time I was about to start, I classified it into five. So the first one is the IoT, the Internet of Things. So the Internet of Things, IoT, or embedded system. Or embedded system. So to be faithful, I have this experience before, but they are not that relevant to me because I'm an electrical engineer, and we used to do some form of electronics, so I have little experience in this field. So yeah, I will come back to it, but let me proceed. Another one is the software development rather. When most people talk about tech industry, IT, computer industry, so it's always tech and software aspect, because this aspect of engineering actually is a user model. So it's a user model. I mean, that's what we users know about software model. So another aspect which is very common is the data analysis. So another one that I'll be introducing to people is the Scrum/PMP, and the fifth one is the Cloud Enterprise. So although we may have other branches of the field, but I believe these five actually encompasses majority of what we do in tech industry. The Internet of Things, or the IoT, or the embedded system, is actually what led to the major thing in today, which is the robotics. And in this engineering field, the major application software required is you need C++, you need Matlab, and you need Python. So IoT robotics is a very complex engineering field, to be faithful. Robotics generally is very complex, if I'm to be faithful with you. So it's very, very complex. So it's difficult. It's not something you can just jump into and have your own career and have a definite career in 6 months, even in a year. Although you might be easy, you have to be developing, climbing the ladder. So that's what IoT entails. Software development, I don't think there should be a lot of conversation on it, because we all know that's what computer science really entails. So it's also a very broad. I mean, software development is very broad, very, very broad. So that's where all the programming language comes in. All programming language. Also, under software we have the UI UX. So UI UX. So this one is very simple, to be candid. You only need to know Figma software. I'm coming Figma. The moment you are able to know Figma, yeah, majorly Figma software perfectly, and two other or one other. But with this, you can be a UI UX developer within few days. So we have app developer. Sorry, let me change the color. We have app developer, web developer. So web developers, HTML, PHP. Although we have a branch of web development which you can jump into, but it's not that sophisticated. You still need the formal background. Is the CMS. We used to call it CMS. So this one is mostly WordPress and other. So I have this experience too, because it's more like using normal mobile app. But the problem is that sometimes, it's also it's not for sprinters. So, but with that, I have my map3.com. I designed it myself. So another aspect which is very common, is the most popular aspect today, is the data analysis. You can become a data analyst with tech experience, with programming experience, and you can also become a data analyst without programming experience. If you want to go to the less difficult, so you just need to know the most overrated software. Like my boss used to tell me, the most overrated software is what? Microsoft Excel. So the moment you have Excel experience, Excel is a very deep software. There is a bunch of videos on YouTube. The moment you have a lot of experience on Excel, likewise storytelling, you can tell your story in a better way. So all this Excel, we have different Excel needs to know pivot, visualization, etc. So the moment you have a broad knowledge of Microsoft Excel, so if you intend to venture in programming, if you have a year to spare, the first software you need to prioritize is Python. And the good thing about it is that Python is used in many industries. But if you use Python to learn data analysis, if anything pops up in other fields, you can even venture into software development or other branches. So you need Python. Is a very good software for data analysis. Likewise, game developers use Python. Game developers. So app development. Let me say app development in full. Web development. So we use Python. So if you can check, let me confirm. Is the top rated programming language. So that's the good thing about Python. Python. After Python, Java, JavaScript, and PHP. So that's the good thing about Python. So other than that, so that's why I always recommend people to learn Python. So Matlab, we use Matlab in academics a lot for data analysis, especially we in the engineering industry. In my college at present, they won't accept PhD students without Matlab knowledge. You must be versatile in Matlab. So it's the second rated, but in academics, it's the first rated software. For instance, I'm in electrical engineering, and the good thing about Matlab is that we use it for simulation. Like we can design a model from Matlab. We simulate before going to site. Like the project I did, one of the mistakes I did last year was that I'm not that versatile in Simulink, which is another part of Matlab. So then it was, I'm new here, so it was during the fall period. I have to like go outside in the code to be testing my project. Ordinarily, if I'm good with Matlab, I could have tested everything in the lab before going outside. So that's why Matlab is like, if you actually intend to like venture into academics in the future, I would recommend learning Matlab before Python. But within a period of 1 year, so you should be able to 6 months generally. You should have gotten to an extent in Python. In Matlab, generally a period of 6 months is enough to learn Matlab. So another one that they use a lot in the data analysis industry is what we call RStudio. RStudio is a very good software, but it's majorly for analysis. Let me just say it's solely for analysis. So we want to use it for data analysis, and that's all about the data analysis. So the one that actually made me to like organize this tutorial for you guys is the Scrum or PMP, Scrum or Project Management. So Scrum is like an aspect of IT for non-programmers, and the good thing about it is that as a Scrum Master, which is one of the professions I will be highlighting very soon, you might even be earning more than a programmer. One of the I did my certification sometimes like 3 months ago, and funny enough, one of the guys that we did the certification together got a job almost 160k without, he doesn't even have, he's not even good in computer language, computer generally, talk less of programming language. So that's the good thing about Scrum. So it's like an IT for non-IT. That's the simplest definition I can give to it. Okay. Yeah, let me proceed. So other than Scrum, we'll still be venturing into cloud enterprise. So these two, they are related, especially there's an aspect of cloud enterprise that we used to call DevOps. So it's like the best profession in the world at present. And the good thing is that you don't stress yourself. So the major thing the two professions wants to like work on is communication. So Scrum is like a model every company is trying to introduce to their operation at present. There is an aspect of cloud enterprise, as I said earlier, that we used to call DevOps. So DevOps too serves the same function. So DevOps simply means developers and operation. So they need like a manager, like to manage their operation. So because of that, it brought up these two type of services. But the way I used to like define it for guys is that Scrum is a subset of DevOps. Scrum is a subset of DevOps. So Scrum is a subset of DevOps. So the first thing is the empirical knowledge. So empirical knowledge, after then the certification, and after then the software. So within 3 to 4 months, I believe you'll have become a Scrum Master. And the good thing is that you'll be working more like a project manager. So you'll be working more as a project manager to IT, in the IT sector rather. So after then, if time commits, I'm still under my own training to become a DevOps. So I might actually, when I've gotten my certification already, but possibly if I start and if I gotten the required knowledge, if I've gotten enough knowledge to train you guys, I will actually venture into this one soon. So within these few weeks, we'll be talking more. I'll be taking classes on Scrum, and I hope to be beneficial to us all.